Welcome to Pickpocket Pod. My name is Cameron.
Hello, I'm Josh.
We're the owners of Pickpocket Games, an independent publishing studio dedicated to making games you can share with anyone. What are we talking about today, Josh? What games are we talking about?
Well, we're going to be talking about Thief's Market by Dave Chalker
Yep.
and Lodge by Pete McPherson.
Talking about our two upcoming games, status of where Thieves Market's at. We're going to talk about our next game coming to Kickstarter soon, which is called Lodge. It's kind of the first we're going to show that game off. But I want to kick things off with us talking about what games we've been playing this week. What have you been playing this week, Josh?
So I love my crunchy hobby games, but typically my gaming group it's mostly people who are newer to gaming. So I've been playing a lot of entry-level hobby games that I can introduce certain mechanics, and Mythical Dice is the game that both my wife and I have been crushing.
Who made that? I've never
So
even heard
Colored
of this
by
game.
Yellow here. I don't know
Okay.
who originally did it, if there was an original publisher,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
have you played Skull King?
yeah. Love
It's
Skull
like
King.
Skull King, but with dice.
Okay.
No, it's great. It's this cute little trick-taking game. But the like core fun element of it is that it's a bidding trick-taking game where you are guessing how many tricks you'll win each round. It's super simple, very clever. I love it. I think it's an excellent game if you can get into dice games
Yeah.
and you already enjoy trick-taking games.
Dice
It's really
game
good.
plus bidding plus trick taking sounds like a great time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love, I mean, this like our whole MO is accessible entry points into the hobby. So it
Yeah.
sounds like a great one. I'm excited to play. Well, I'll have to try it out. I've been playing, I have it up here. I also like lightweight party stuff and tend to play mostly that, but heavy gamer group got together last night, played some Tapestry, which is one of my favorites. I haven't played this game in probably like 2 or 3 years, and it just
Yeah.
felt so good to get back into it again. All the expansions crammed into this box and just all the satisfying, ridiculous combos. Um, I just loved like the way that that game scales. Like your first income turn, you score like 5 or 10 points. And then
Yep.
your last income turn, you score like 150. And it's
Yeah.
just so satisfying. I love it so much. So good. I hardly ever get it to the table because it's also like extraordinarily long,
Yeah.
especially with like 4 players, 3, 4 players. It starts getting really long, but such a good, satisfying game. Very
Big fan of Tapestry here.
typical Stonemeyer,
Yep.
just efficiency puzzle to the max. So satisfying. Um, Always good to get that one back to the table. All right, I want to dive in to first topic, which is our very first game under the Pickpocket brand, Thieves Market. We kickstarted that earlier this year. That I want to talk to you. You're largely our logistics guy. Where are we at on Thieves Market, Josh? Give everybody an
Well,
update on what to expect.
we're on a boat.
We're on a
So
boat.
manufacturing is completely wrapped. We have left the factory. Right now we have a whole bunch of units that are headed toward the US.
Yep.
They'll be here in about a month. They'll arrive in the US in October. And assuming we don't have any major port delays or issues actually getting through port,
Fingers
fingers
crossed.
crossed,
You never know.
we'll be fulfilling very soon after. So late October, early November, we'll be actually shipping out games here to people's houses. And then
Yeah.
we also have units that are headed to other regions as well. We've got a few cases that are going to be at Essen. We've got over 1,000 units that are going to Zatu right now for our UK audience
Yeah,
that's going
this
to be
is
buying
the
those
first time
games.
we've really talked about this. If anybody's watching this, or if you followed the Kickstarter and you were hoping to get it in Europe, I know there were some people that were really upset that it wasn't going to be available. We partnered with Zatu. English language is going to be in the EU and the UK through Zatu. They're going to be doing distribution. I think you'll be able to order directly from them, but also
Yeah.
they'll be distributing it to stores throughout the EU and the UK as well. So we're super pumped. It's a great partnership. People at Zatu are great. Yeah, just expanding the reach of Thieves Market has been a big focus of ours. Of how do we get this to more people?
Yeah. One note I wanna add in there as well. We had some Canadian backers, which is super
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
This Because we are still so small and we're printing quantities of 5,000 units, not 50,000 units, not 20,000 units. It doesn't make sense yet for us to transload a shipment. So we do have to receive everything here in the US first and then
For
ship it
Canada.
off
Yeah. So
to
the Canadian
Canada.
backers who ordered through Board Game Bliss, there'll be a bit of a delay on them getting their copies. Um,
Hopefully,
Not too
that'll
much.
be the first shipment that goes out.
Yeah.
The shipment to
We'll
our
get the
Canadian
Canada
backers.
orders out the
So,
door.
we could still meet that November timeline even for our Canadian backers. It'll be tight, but it's definitely possible.
Thanksgiving. This is like I've said it before, and this is like our whole MO at Pickpocket is Thanksgiving games is like games that you can play with family that doesn't play games. This is a perfect one for that. So Thanksgiving holiday times, this is a great game. Pull out with the family that doesn't play games. I'm really excited we're getting it in time for people to have it then because it's just going to be a great time to get it out. So we're fulfilling in November. I will say I looked at our pledge manager the other day. I'll have to check again. We're going to put out an update. This will probably be in that update. I think we're at about like 85% on the pledge manager being
Great.
complete, which is great. It was really solid. There's still like a month or two before we're shipping, so there's still plenty of time for people to fill theirs out. I know you were talking about potentially some release event stuff going on with Dave, the designer, Dave Chalker. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we do have a release event scheduled right now. It's for December 7th from 12 p.m. So just from noon until 3 o'clock at Labyrinth Games in DC.
It's a good one.
Labyrinth Games rules.
Yeah,
They
it's like the
also
most popular store in DC, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
They're very cool. But they were super gracious to allow us some space in their store, and it's going to be a play with the designer event. So, Dave will be signing copies, but also sitting down at tables and playing his game with people who want to participate and play with him.
he will
It's a lot
probably
of fun.
crush you, just
Yeah.
for the record.
Yes.
But
Dave is
it'll be fun.
good at game.
You'll get to see him crush you, and that's another kind of fun.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Dave also, it's so cool talking to Dave about this game because this is like its second life. It had an earlier iteration, and this is its, obviously second time being published. And Dave has so many cool comments and observations about how the game has evolved over the years, and then how his play of it and the community's reception of it is what helped drive that evolution. So if you see Dave, definitely ask his thoughts about that. He's got some really cool thoughts.
It was when we talked about what are we going to do different with this new edition, it was a lot of looking back at the 8-9 years the game had been out and all of the reviews and comments and discussion that had already happened around it, getting to look back at how people had received it and what they really enjoyed and what they really connected with and trying to focus in on making that the best it could be. Yeah, it was such a unique opportunity to get to work on something that it had this long life already
Yeah.
and get to say, we get to look at what it fans of this game really enjoy and try and just hammer in and make those even better, right? The things that you already enjoyed, how can we bring those out even more? How can we bring more variability into here? It just increase player tension and all these different things that people really loved about the game. Combined with the fact that it's just been out of print for a while too. So it's just an exciting opportunity to say, let's bring this back.
Yeah.
Great. So release event again, probably have put it on the screen somewhere here. If you guys are in DC or in the surrounding areas, be sure to go check it out. Say hi to Dave, say hi to Josh. I'm going to try and make it out there. No promises yet. We're going to see if the timing works, but I'm going to try and make it out. That'll be a load of fun. Do we want to talk about anything else that's next? We've talked about Europe and UK with Zatu.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. I mean, we're obviously a very small publisher. You are the only full-time in-house person at Pickpocket Games.
Yep.
Everybody else, this is just our side hustle. This is something we're doing on nights and weekends for fun. For us to be successful, the support of people watching this is that is our breeding ground for success. That's where we're finding success, is the people in our community that are excited about our games and energized about our games. The best thing that can happen for us is when you, the people watching this, go to your local brick and mortar game store and ask them if they have heard of our games. If they are interested in placing copies, get them connected with us, send them to our socials. We want this game to live in friendly local game stores. And we don't have the bandwidth or capacity to call every good, friendly local game store
Yeah,
and
well, I
ask
mean,
them to demo our game.
we're gonna try. We're gonna call as many as we can, but
We're gonna try, but the reality is
we had
that's
limited.
where
Yeah.
this community comes in. So, I mean, the next step is get the game out there and play it with people. When
Yep.
you play it with your friends, tell them about what we did with this game. This is a remake of the original, and here's the things they changed, and you can follow their socials. You sharing what we do is like really that's our launch point to success. It's people actually playing the games and talking about it in play spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. And like again, our goal for the games we make is games you can share with anybody. Our hope is that we've done a good job at meeting that mission statement and feeling like Thieves Market is a game that you can bring out. It's a great game for game night and it's a great game for people who don't game. Like it's
Yeah.
got that really nice simple core system. It's not sacrificing on depth or complexity in any way, shape, or form. It's just that core gameplay system is nice and simple. So it's really easy to get people going. It's really easy to teach and get to the table. So I hope that people feel like it is a good game for that anyways, that they want to share with people because of all the work we put into making it that way. So yeah, Thieves Market. I'm realizing we're talking about it. I should be showing it off. We've got the
So good.
deluxe edition. This is our PPC, or one of the PPCs. You'll notice I did a video filming with this box, and I held it like this under these hot heat lamps for so long, and my gold foil melted off. But otherwise, this is very close to the final version of the game that you'll be getting. Very few changes here. We've got the full art back. I've got it on upside down on the back of the deluxe box. If you want to see more of this box, we have a YouTube video on our channel. We'll link it below. You can go check out an unboxing with all the stuff in the retail and the deluxe edition. All right, I want to talk about That's Thieves Market. We
Yep.
got another game coming though. And that's
Boy.
been like the bulk of what we've been working on this month, especially.
Yeah.
Lodge. Let's talk about Lodge. It's designed by Peter McPherson. He's the designer of Tiny Towns. He did Fit to Print, Wormholes. Fantastic designer. Really, really talented. Great to work with. With the illustrations from Leslie Herman. Leslie Herman, brand new to the board gaming space. He has primarily done, I don't even want to say primarily. He's done a lot of other projects for different
Yeah.
people. A big one thing he does, he works with a brewing company and does their like beer design. I saw one of his cans in the wild for like the first
that's
time the
cool.
other week, and it was so
Yeah.
exciting.
Have I ever
Um,
told you my very first introduction to him? The first thing I ever saw of his?
No.
It was the alt art poster he did for Mondo for the James Gunn movie Super, which I love that movie, and it's such an excellent poster. Definitely, everybody look it up. If
We'll
there's
put it,
still
I mean, you've
available
said it.
prints on his
It's gonna
website,
be
buy
on
it.
screen. Like we'll put it on screen. You said it now.
It's too cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be here. Look at
I
that.
don't know. I'll probably cover your face with it, honestly. Yeah, he is an incredibly talented artist. He has such a unique style, and the theming of this game is that you are in the Swiss Alps trying to run a ski lodge. And there's something about his art style in a lot of places that he uses it that feels very European and feels very like set in this almost 60s, 70s aesthetic, where it feels almost vintage in some way, and very classic. And that was just super exciting to sign on with him. I want to talk to you. You're the art director on this game, which has been a thrill to have somebody doing art direction that knows a lot more about art than I do. Talk to me about our cover art, because we're revealing the cover art. We're going to put it up on screen as well here. This should be very near final. If it's not final, we've been getting like final cover art finished up this week.
Yep.
Talk to me about this cover. What was the pitch for this cover and the direction that we wanted
Yeah.
to go? And then just Leslie like running with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and beautiful cover. All of the art that Leslie has done for this game has been just outstanding. The inspiration for this game was two primary sources: the New Yorker, the caricatures and illustrations from the New Yorker, and then European travel posters. Primarily the travel posters from the 60s and 70s, and you'll see a lot of that. The way that shines through is in block coloring and highly stylized illustrations, and that's also Leslie's brand. That's what he does already. So it was neat because I was able to find an artist that I love, that we love, and then his style, and highlight the things in his style that I think work really well with this type of game, and placing the player into a unique part of this world. And that's what Leslie's art does. So here you can see those inspirations. So you should look for block coloring in all of his art. You're never going to see gradient colors for what Leslie is doing. Some of that may come through in some of the graphic design, but Leslie is dropping block color only. And then he's got these highly stylized illustrations with bold block pen. And a neat thing about Leslie is that he does all his art physical. He
Pen
does
and paper,
pen on
baby.
paper.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And then after he does that, he digitizes it. And the beauty that you'll see in that is that there's a wobble. That's like going back to the 60s and 70s before we had the modern tools that most illustrators that are doing those types of media produce in. The timeline's so short that the reality of most artists is they're required to use some, digital means for their artwork just because it saves so much time and money and all these things. But the way Leslie digitizes his art keeps the life in the wobble. And you can see that even though this is digitized, it was a hand done illustration.
Yeah. It's hard you can try to fake that. It's very hard to fake it, like fully digitally. There's something really special that comes through that process that you just can't really replicate. You can try and fake it, but it's not going to be quite the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and
he
the
sent us, like, every time he's working on early versions, he's sending us like literally just pictures of his notebook. And they're the most exciting thing to get because it's just like sketches all over the place of different ideas. And he's ideating on what the shape of this character might look like, right? And it's just, it feels like this is like art at its purest form, right? It's just like pen on paper, sketching out rough ideas and trying to make things work.
Yeah.
And then we get a gorgeous cover like this.
We're so incredibly lucky to
Yeah.
work with somebody that has those values. And so one of the things that, you'll never see generative AI in
No.
anything pickpocket, right? But
No,
to take
we're
it a
a
step
people
further,
forward team.
we're working with people that care about the birth of these illustrations. Leslie
Yeah.
is going back to these crazy sources. He's finding European travel posters and looking at those as his references. He found specific lodges that he was inspired by their architecture. And you can see that here on the cover as well. So much intention went behind these illustrations, and Leslie has just knocked it out of the park. And then to add on top of it, because this is a major part of our art, we're working with such an incredible graphic designer.
Yeah.
All of our teams have always been great. Seth, we got to work with Seth at Keymaster.
Yep.
And it's
A while
so
ago.
cool working with him again. He has that same vision of like birthing his art is placed and grounded in this world. The game we're playing, every illustration, every piece of graphic design is intended to place you in this world. They did
And I
such an
think
amazing
like
job.
Seth is amazing at making graphic design that doesn't feel like it's graphic design. Like he's we have worked so hard to make it feel like there's not art and then we put stuff on top of it. Like it feels like a natural part of the illustration almost. And it's hard. The hope is that it's as hard as possible to tell where does the illustration begin and the graphic design, where do those two intersect? As much as possible, we want it to feel like it's a natural part of the piece itself and not like we paid money to get a great illustration done and then we slap graphic design on top of it. It's not what we want to do. It's been a very collaborative process. You remember, I mean, last week we had like 2 days spent on like the shape of customer tokens. That
Yeah.
was like the entire team just chiming in, and I'm printing stuff out here and cutting it out to see it at size. And we're just all like, I think we need should these corners be rounded? Right? Like it's like so much conversation about what is going to serve the art best and how can the graphic design complement the art the best, as well as like we're trying to solve for visibility issues, accessibility issues, colorblind friendliness, right? Like all these solves that are happening that the entire team is collaborating on to make happen. And I hope that comes through in the final product. I think it has with everything that's done so far, is that it feels like a very cohesive unit and not like we got an artist to go illustrate a bunch of stuff and then we took it and handed it to a graphic designer and said, okay, now you put graphic design on top.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just trying to make it feel like a more natural, cohesive unit. Seth is so good at that. I mean, you can
So
see it in like all the games from the last like 3-4 years of Keymaster is largely Seth doing graphic design for those games, and you can see it there too. Like it's just he's so talented.
it's amazing. It's humbling.
Yeah.
There's a team member you did not mention yet, and that's you. So I'm gonna real quick
I thought we were
highlight
going to talk about
something.
Peter. Peter, whatever.
Yeah, we mentioned him. We'll come back to
We'll
Peter.
come back to Peter.
I need to highlight something for you also.
Hey,
So, Cameron, if you like solo games, you should be playing Cameron's designs. Harvest is my second favorite solo game experience behind Final Girl. And then Harvest is my second favorite solo game experience. And I think my favorite part about it is that uh, it's a simple loop, whatever. You get these minor changes to the rules and things like that as you advance, but it's challenging.
Yeah.
It is not a game that you sit down and flip cards and the game plays itself while
Yeah.
you watch. It's a game you have to be very intentional. It's a challenging, fun experience.
Yeah.
I'm competing with myself. And a lot of solo games aren't able to pull that through in a way that is engaging and exciting.
It's hard.
Your designs do that. And we have a solo design for Lodge thanks
Yeah.
to Cameron.
It's very exciting. It's a hard challenge. Like it's hard for Harvest, and I understand like a lot of solo modes try and replicate an artificial opponent, which I think is fine, and I think that works for some games. Especially, you need that. I think there's certain games that you couldn't not do that for. I go in a very different direction when trying to design solo modes. I'm not trying to make something artificial that you're playing against. I'm trying to give you certain obstacles and give you the right tension to focus on how can I play my game the best. And where there does need to be tension, like Harvest is a great example. It's a worker placement game. There is Gary the Cow that comes out and blocks spaces, but he's not really a full artificial opponent. He's not like getting resources or has his own farm or scoring points. Like you're still just playing your own game. That's like a big focus of mine for solo. It's the same with Lodge. Lodges, we could talk about Lodge here. A spatial puzzle game, very much a like, I just want to let you play your spatial puzzle. And I'm going to throw things at you that make things more difficult, but you don't need to worry about an artificial opponent doing stuff. Just play your game, right? And see how well you can play. That's kind of the structure of solo. I think it fits in well with our like brand mission as well of just like trying to make every part of our games as accessible as possible. Artificial opponents are very gamery. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it means like I don't think a lot of people are pulling out. Like a Tapestry is a great example. There's a very robust Automata in that game. I've played it quite a lot. I enjoy it quite a lot. Most people, if they already knew how to play Tapestry, are probably not going to play that solo mode because I just think it's you're learning like a whole nother game to play that solo mode. It's a lot. It's great. It's really well designed. It's very, very intentional and clever, but it's a lot, right? And it's just like, how can we try and make stuff that's a way more accessible version of solo? That's been a big goal. So thank you, Josh.
Well, I
appreciate the
can't
call
wait
out.
for everybody to see it.
Yeah.
So that's you. But now, can you talk about what it's been like working with Pete?
Yeah. So Peter McPherson, again, designer of Tiny Towns. I have that over here somewhere too. It's off screen, but it's proudly displayed. This is one of my favorite spatial puzzle games of all time. I have,
good.
I think, everything that they've released for it in here. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Peter if there's anything I'm missing. Incredibly talented designer. One of those designers that just makes you frustrated with how talented they are. Tiny Towns was his first game he ever released. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Like massive success. A game that is still selling and doing expansions like what, 6-7 years
Yeah.
later? Crazy. First game he ever released. He is a very smart, intentional designer. He thinks a lot about the player experience. It's a step beyond just thinking about the systems in the game and making sure they work. Like he's a very fun forward player experience driven designer. And that makes him really like so easy to work with on our end. When he pitched us this game, we both said it. We played it once, finished up the meeting, got off the call, and we're like, we have to sign this and we could publish it as is. That's how good this game was when he pitched it to us. And like, we went through a whole dev process for it. And honestly, very little has changed from the original design. Like there's definitely some things that have been kind of cleaned up or maybe expanded upon, but for the most part, it's very, very close to what he pitched to us. And that just is a testament to his talent as a designer and how smart and thoughtful he is about his work. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of very talented designers, and Peter is no exception to that. Like he's a fantastic, easy to work with. He's also been very involved on the production side too. Like he's in our team
Yeah.
channel and is constantly being involved in those kind of collaborative conversations about what does this look like as a product? How does this look and feel on the table? How does the graphic design complement the art, but also work in a way that feels accessible and really easily readable? Like he's very involved in those conversations too, which has just been great.
And it's been cool too because, I mean, this is something we've talked about a
Yeah.
lot before is how do we involve designers without them getting hurt at
Yeah.
their baby changing?
For sure.
And
Yeah.
because that's hard to do. And I have designs that I've done, and the thought of someone else taking it and
Coming
turning
in
it
and
into
like,
a product, it's like kind of it feels like you're just tearing up something I put
I
my heart
made,
into and
yep.
making it a money machine. Like, what? I don't want that. Pete has been so good at not just letting this turn into a product, but helping that happen and supporting the changes when you or I say, "Hey, we think this is a better decision to make in terms of product." He's helping us make
Yeah.
those decisions and
He
offering
understands
informed.
that
Yeah,
direction and why we're thinking that way. He's
it's
thinking that way
great.
too. And I think that's part of what's so great with working with him is he was thinking that way when he designed it by himself, right? He's thinking about the finished product and what this is going to look like and work like on a table. Um, yeah, I think designers frequently, I hear it a lot, and you'll see it a lot in like design discussion spaces where they're just like, well, when you sign it with a publisher, like the publisher's going to take it where they want to take it. And you just kind of have to accept that. And I think that makes sense for the most part, right? Like the publisher is the one taking on the financial risk. They're putting a lot of resources into doing art, graphic design. Like it's expensive to make a game and market a game and sell a game like this. It's very expensive. And publishers that are larger than us also have teams of people. They have overhead. Like it costs a lot to make products. But yeah, we talked a lot about, and we talked about this with Dave too, and just like going forward, how can we always do better with each successive game we make in letting the designer into that process as much as they want to be a part of that process. There are certain designers that are mostly focused on the design, and that's great too. Like they're not as product focused, and they're totally fine to hand it off to a publisher and say run with it. But for Dave and for Peter, it was very much like we want you to feel really, really happy with where this ends up. And a big part of that is before we even sign it, giving a very clear vision of like, this is the direction we want to go in. This is what we think the end product's going to look like. This is where it's going to land. We're going to do a Kickstarter. This is what we're thinking of doing. Obviously, some stuff can and will change as we go through the process of designing the product. But we want you to feel like you are on board with the vision we have for this. Because if you're not, I don't want to turn it into something that you aren't proud of. Like your name's on the box. You're the headliner, right? Like I want you to feel really happy and excited about where this ends up. And yeah, that Peter was really pumped on the vision of where we wanted that game to go. And it just, yeah, it's been smooth sailing since we signed it, which is great. I come from a background, like you mentioned, we both used to work at Keymaster. I was a developer there and I've worked with a lot of different designers, and the process is always different with every single designer, and like the amount of involvement they want in different pieces and what the publisher wants to let them be involved in. Right. Um, yeah, it's just been such an easy process
Yeah.
with Peter.
I wanna shift a little and now get into a question about the design, the game we
Yeah.
have itself.
Yeah.
So just Lodge.
And
You
we
don't have to
can,
tell
just to
me
be
how to
clear,
play. We don't have to
yeah,
do all that. What's your
we're
favorite part
yeah,
about Lodge?
just to be clear, like part of the reason we're waxing poetic about the product design process, because that's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
Like the game design has been finished and
Yeah.
we're in the product design phase. That's part of the reason I'm so excited to talk about it all the time. Um, actually the game itself, my favorite part of Lodge, it's gotta be the draft. So this is a spatial puzzle game. You're going to be placing tiles in your lodge and building it out. I love that part too, because I'm very much spatial puzzle enthusiast. I've got this big Kallax behind me. Like 3 of these cubes are full of spatial puzzle games. I love spatial puzzle so much. Lodge has this really, really clever, we've been referencing it as like a Tetris style draft, where there's a display of tiles. It's a 4x4 grid, and you're going to be grabbing tiles, and whatever floor, whatever level you grab a tile from is the level you have to put it in your lodge, which is really tricky. You have to get your head around that the first time you play this. If I grab a tile from the bottom row, I have to put it on the bottom row of my lodge. If I want to put something on the third row, I can only pull from the third row out in the display. It's really, really quite a tricky puzzle. But then to add on to that, when you take a tile, the display is not going to refresh. You will have to wait until somebody takes a tile that clears a row. And when that happens, then everything slides down like Tetris. Everything's going to slide down, and then you're going to refill from the bag of tiles. And there is something really satisfying. You also have a refresh token in this game that you can use to, once per game, you can refresh the display yourself and then take a turn. There's something really satisfying about trying to plan around what's going to fall and where. And like, can I anticipate, okay, I'm going to take this one because I think you're going to take this one, and that's going to cause the display to refresh. And then that purple is going to fall to row 3, and that's where I want a purple, right? Like, can I anticipate that happening? Or do I want to use my refresh token and make it happen now because I really need that purple on the right floor? I just love it. It's such a simple little concept for a like public draft, and it is so interesting. Like, there's just a lot of interplay between what you're trying to do, what other people are trying to do. There's as much as you want there to be. You can also just like, I'll just wait till it's my turn and see what's available, and that's totally fine too.
That's my favorite part about the game, is that there's incredibly high player interaction if you want.
Yeah.
That's also my favorite thing about Tiny Towns. The first time I
Yeah.
teach somebody how to play Tiny Towns, I tell them, only look at your play area.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about what other people are doing. You're going to have to pick up different colors because of their turn, whatever. But don't look at their boards until
Just
you
worry
know
about what you're
how to play
working
the
on.
game. Just worry
Yep.
about what you're doing. And you can do the same exact thing here in Lodge.
Yeah.
It is something where if you want, you can get real deep into the puzzle and trying to figure out what
are
are
you
my
gonna
neighbors
do?
trying to do? What is
Yeah.
everybody else trying to do? And how can I use that to help me?
Yeah.
Or you can just say, I'm playing my game. I don't care.
Especially at 2. At 2 players, it gets like, because there's only one turn before it gets back to you, it gets really like the dynamic of playing against and off of what you expect the other person to do is like, yeah, really satisfying. But you're right. Like, that's part of what's great about this game is, and most of like first time play testers, when they play this, don't even really recognize that they can play that way, right? Like, you don't have to play that way at all. This is as much of a multiplayer solitaire game as you want it to be. You can play very solo and just focus on your own thing. And that's totally like, it's not necessarily going to hurt you. It just depends on what everybody else is doing. Other people might really be looking at what you're doing and then try and like hate draft tiles or make sure that they're going to take something that they expect you to not take, or, like
I think
yeah,
we really
choose
hit
your
the
own
nail on the
interaction.
head for having a simple game with a huge amount of depth. Like,
Yeah.
it is so easy to learn and get to the table, and there is so much replayability in
very
figuring out the
deceptive.
strategy and depth of how
Yeah.
to play.
It's a very deceptive game. Like, you will discover, especially with repeat plays, how much deeper and deeper you can get into it. And like most spatial puzzle games, like you'll see what you score the first game, and then each successive game you kind of play more and more, your score will kind of gradually tick up, and it's this question mark of like, what is the upper limit here? What could I score in this game? What is the potential for what I could score in this game?
That's the perfect segue into the next question I have. So
Okay.
this Lodge will be on Kickstarter.
Yep.
We already did a Kickstarter. We did Thieves Market on Kickstarter. We found success there. We did our thing. We're
on
bringing
track.
another game to Kickstarter. Can you tell people, Cameron, what they
Yep.
should do in the lead up to this Kickstarter?
Yeah. So in the lead up to the Kickstarter, we're going to be posting a lot more. This is like the first start of us talking about this game a lot more. Following us on social media is great. Instagram, Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on all the things. Most everywhere we're just at Pickpocket Games. Some places we're at Pickpocket BG because of character limits. But you should be able to find us if you just search Pickpocket Games. But you can also, we're going to put a link in the description. I'll try and put it on screen as well. You can follow the campaign page. We have a pre-launch campaign page. You can follow that on Kickstarter. Kickstarter now has pre-launch update features, so we will be able
Very
to
cool.
send out updates if you follow the campaign page. We're not going to spam your inbox. We're going to try and keep it to an absolute minimum, just focusing on sharing more information about the gameplay, showing off the art and where the product is landing, so you feel like you can really make an informed decision when the Kickstarter goes live on what you want, what pledge level is going to work for you. Is it a game that makes sense for you that you're really going to enjoy? We want people to feel like they have a deep understanding of this game and can really get a sense for, is this a game for me? So follow on Kickstarter. That's like, really, I should level that. That's the number one thing, is follow on
Follow on
Kickstarter. If you want to get even more info about Lodge or the East Market or other things we're working on, social media is the place for that. We also have a newsletter. I expect if you're watching this video, you're probably already subscribed to our newsletter. But if you're not, go subscribe to our newsletter, pickpocket.games.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
I have two last things that I want to mention there with Lodge. First, not actually connected with Lodge. It's my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom! I know
Shout
you're
out
watching.
to Josh's mom.
Josh's mom. Everybody say happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Josh's mom.
No, Mary's the best. We love her. She's the most supportive person of all time.
She sent such a lovely email, but I don't know if I told you this.
I don't think so.
She completed the pledge manager and sent me this real nice email about, I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations on the success of how well this did, and I can't wait for the next one. And it was great. It's very
I'm
sweet.
so blessed. It's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Also, Board Game Arena. So this is a game.
Josh, hold on.
Is it too early, really?
Probably. We can mention it. This is a not promising it, but we're trying. So we can definitely, this is a little behind the scenes. We're going to try
What
and
if
have this
if I
game.
hype playtest then?
No. It's okay. We can talk about it.
Okay.
We're going to try and have this game on Board Game Arena for free for people to play by the time the Kickstarter is live. The timing is hard on this because it has to go through alpha testing first before it can open up to beta and people can play it. So our hope is that it's live by the time the campaign launches, which will be, we haven't said this, late January of next year. You'll be able to play the base game for free and see what you think. No promises.
No promises.
We are moving forward. We're having it developed for BGA. It's just a question of, is it going to be done in time for when the campaign launches? We'll see. We think so. We're going to find out. It's one of those, like, we don't know how long alpha testing is going to take to find all the bugs and make sure everything's working right. But so keep an eye out. We'll post more about that in updates, and it'll be on the Kickstarter page and all that good stuff. But
yeah. Can't wait. This is a game that, I believe in people playing it. It's such a compelling experience. You play one time and I really think you're going to get that hook. You're going to want to play more. So if you're at PAX Unplugged,
if it's the kind of game you like, that's the other piece. Is like, it's a very easy play it once and you'll know if this is a game for you.
Yeah.
If you like
PAX
Tiny
Unplugged,
Towns, it's probably a game for you. But
if people are at PAX Unplugged,
we'll be
find us.
We won't have a booth. But we will be there, and we will have PPCs of Lodge, like final production copies of Lodge that you can play with all the bells and whistles. You guys aren't ready. We'll talk about that later, probably next month or the month after that, like all the bells and whistles that are going to be in this game. Or that'll be available for this game, I should say. Yeah, come find us at PAX Unplugged. Should be a great time. Josh, I wanna wrap things up, but I want to talk about, I think it'd be great to have like a wrap-up question that's not necessarily about Pickpocket for these. So this is a little Pickpocket related, but it's celebrating other games. What is one game that you wish we could have published under Pickpocket? What would make sense as our model, like games you can share with anybody. We want stuff that's uncompromising on depth and replayability and like how interesting the game is, but that is super simple in terms of the core gameplay loop.
I've got it right here.
You've got it right here.
I have 3 copies of No Thanks in my house at the moment.
No Thanks so much.
No Thanks is golf. You want the lowest score possible.
Yep.
On your turn, you have one simple question. Do I take the number in front of me? Numbers, those are points. Points are bad. Do I take the number in front of me, or do I say no thanks and put one of these little dots on it and pass to the next person? Dots count as -1 point. It also defers you taking a card. Cards, if you have a run of 2 or more, you only count the lowest value in that run. This game shines. It's that simple. It's so simple. It shines when you can sit down and play it with the same group of people 3 times, 4 times, because you build a table meta. And if I'm playing with my niece sitting next to me, suddenly I can never go for runs because she will take that card just to spite me. She doesn't care if she loses, she's going to spite me. Or if I'm not playing with my niece, maybe I'm always going to go for runs. I'll take the 35 as soon as it pops out there. There's so many fun, interesting interactions you have with your neighbors in No Thanks. And it's so simple. And building that table meta is hilarious. I love it.
It's so good. I love No Thanks so much. That's another, like, that's a fantastic, it's a good share with anybody, right? Like, that is a game that I can, no matter who I play it with, we're going to have a good time. Like, it doesn't matter what group of people I'm playing this with. And again, it's so easy to just get out to the table and go. The core gameplay is so easy. It's just say no or say yes, right? Like, that's it. Don't get points. Easy peasy. I'm going to go a little bit heavier, a little more hobby focused, but still fits in that nice, like, can play with anyone range. Gizmos. I love Gizmos so much. I wish
So
I
good.
played it more. I was thinking about this question this week and was like, I need to get this back to the table. It's been too long. This is Phil Walker Harding, who did Sushi Go. That's another one that's like could easily would publish that anytime. Love Sushi Go. You're going to be, there's like this row of marbles, put a picture up, that you are drafting marbles from a like dispenser. Really cool, like mechanical piece in here too, just like a table presence wise. It's very cool. And you're just, it's kind of in the same range as Thief's Market of like those marbles are resources that you're going to use to buy cards, which build up their gizmos. And you build up this little engine of like, okay, now anytime I take a red marble, I also get a random marble. Anytime I buy this card, I can spend a marble to get a point, right? And it's just you're building out this little engine of, okay, I got this card, which triggers this card, which triggers this card. And the core, like, original loop is really, really simple. You only have like a couple options of what to do on your turn. And by the end of the game, you've built this delightful little engine that's just like cards popping off on each other and giving you extra marbles and extra points, and it's just super satisfying.
It is.
It's got a great table presence and a great tactility to it, which I really love. And then yeah, it's very in that like Thief's Market range of like build a cool engine, and there's this kind of unique resource draft that's happening at the start that lets you buy cards to build that engine. So that's my pick, Gizmos. I also just love Phil Walker Harding. I doubt you're watching this, Phil, but if you are, we're going to be in touch. Like, there's so many of Phil's games. I'm like,
Yeah.
these are borderline, very much could be a pickpocket game. We should be talking with him.
They're so good. I use a lot of Phil Walker Harding games. His introductions.
He's so
to the
good.
hobby.
He's a very talented designer. I wasn't in the pitch meeting, but he did pitch a game. I think I'm allowed to say this. I don't know. They didn't sign it. I think it found a home somewhere else. He did at one point pitch a game to Keymaster. I really liked what he pitched. I was not the one that said no. Not to throw Keymaster under the bus. They had a lot of games going on. It's always hard to pick and choose what you're going to sign. He's a really talented designer. We'll be in touch. He's on our list. He's on our short list. All right. I think that's going to wrap us up here at the Pickpocket Pod. Thanks for joining me this month, Josh. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
If you're
Happy
new,
to.
that's the other thing, whatever you're watching on, feel free to subscribe. We're going to be trying to put these out once a month just to give a like, here's the state of Pickpocket. Here's what we've been working on. Maybe here's some stuff we just want to talk about making games, or about stuff in the industry going on, and just give you all kind of an inside look at what it's like to be running a game company and what it takes to make games. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining me, Josh.
Yep. Bye.